Hello everyone, my name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today we are being joined by Gibraan Hanna. Gibraan is a historian and founder of the School for the Transmutation in Spain, Escuela para la Transmutación. He is dedicated to the development of mental and paranormal activities, Orbs and UFO researcher, and he is an NLP practitioner. But before starting with Gibraan, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness in the planet, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing with someone that you know that can benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we live stream, we have an active chat screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side or under the video. If you're seeing us from a smartphone, we invite you to interact with us. Finally, remember not liking and subscribing only this channel, but our Spanish channel Mindalia Televisión and our Portuguese channel Mindalia Televisão. Visit our different platforms and channels, subscribe, because when you do that, you're helping the Mindalia's mission, which is help raise the level of consciousness in the planet. Now, without further delay, I'm gonna be leaving you with Gibraan, whom is gonna be giving us a conference about the mystery of the orbs. Gibraan, welcome to Mindalia. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, my pleasure.
It's our pleasure. The screen is yours.
Okay, so a phenomena on this picture taken by Antonio Tanuri. Tanuri is not a photographer or a person trained in photography, but he's a dentist. But when he took this picture in 1999, he told us that he was walking around noon with a group of people in the woods near a river when he felt the urge to take a picture of this particular place. And then he took two pictures of the same spot, one after another. And you can see there that the image on the right looks normal to us, showing the rocks, the plants, the sunlight, and the date, the time, the stamp in yellow or in orange, sorry, set automatically by the camera. On the other hand, the image on the left was taken at the exactly same spot, but it looks blurred and presents these circles. Um, Notice that the light at the center, it's not blurred. It did not move, and the date, the time, the stamp has not changed either. It's very interesting. If a professional photographer wanted to reproduce this effect, they would have to place the camera on a tripod, shoot it while spinning it. And as I said, Tanuri is not a person training in photography, and therefore he doesn't know this. This is very interesting. But there is another way to reproduce this effect, which is spinning the picture paper, the photo paper, during printing. But if you do that, the date, the time will appear blurred as well. And that is not the case. So next slide, please. So we have another question. How is it possible to achieve this effect otherwise? Let me check here in my slides. Okay. So before talking about how limited our perception is, I would like to show you another test in which we can see the difference between real orbs and an effect. Let's see the next picture. We have the next picture there. Okay. Okay, yes. So this photo shows an orb, right? No, that's wrong. He's a picture taken by Dr. Arjuna Panzera, and he used the zoom to enhance it. And as a result, we can see this semi-transparent circle of light, but actually it's a star. It isn't a real orb, okay? Next picture, please. When there is something small in the picture, such as a water drop, which is very close to the lens of the camera, and we are not focused on the drop itself, but on the background, it may appear as a ball of light or like something like a ghost, okay? And the next picture was taken by a digital camera, Sony Cybershot DSC. Uh, we have the next picture. Okay. No, it isn't. It's not the horse. Seven, six. Sorry. Yeah, the house. Okay. So when there is something small in the picture, such as a water drop, which is very close to the lens, and we are not focused on the drop itself, but on the background, it may appear as a ball of light or something like a ghost. And this picture was taken by a digital camera, as you see there, through glass, where there were water drops, and the camera was very close to them. No. In the next picture, when you see the date in red before the horse picture, can you see a zoom? Yes, the next picture is a jet of water and was taken at night using the same camera. And here we can see a jet of water. So the drops appear out of focus and like balls of light. Sorry, that's I can't see the images, so I'm like blind here. Okay. So the next picture is the horse, right? Okay. So I took this picture from the internet and was probably captured during a snowfall. And we can see snowflakes close to the lens, which look like circles of light. Okay, but it isn't real orbs. And the next one, the next picture, we have here an effect. We call this effect the lens flare. It's easier to know the difference between a lens flare and another things, you know. This is a lens flare. The next one, and the next one, when you see the picture, when we take this picture after a car drove down a dirty road. Okay, can you see it? Perfect. So when you took this a picture after a car drove down on a dirty road, um, usually you can see these kind of orbs, but they aren't real orbs. Okay. However, there are situations in which you can be sure that you're not capturing a water drop, for example, a snowflakes, or simply dust in your pictures. After raining, for example, there is no dust in the air, you know, and often you can take a series of pictures of a particular spot with or without people, and the orbs may appear or disappear. And the question is, the question is, um, if there were dust or a drop of water, what happened to it from one image to another? You know, like you see, as you see here in the picture number 12. Yeah, the 12, 13, yeah, la 13 y 14, por favor. Yeah, when you see, and 14, we see 1 minute later, what happened to it from one image to another? If we're only dust particles, you know? It's very interesting. So, how can weather conditions change so quickly? It's a very interesting question, right? Right? Yeah, when we have a boy there. Okay. Yeah, kid here. So this picture, the picture number one, you can see here, picture number one was taken by a Nikon 3.2 MP, and the picture number two was taken by Olympus. So two different pictures, so two different cameras. How is it possible to capture the same orb? Because you see behind the boy, the same orb from two different cameras, and also in different positions. Because you can see on the left, people are in a different position from the picture number two. Very interesting, isn't it? Okay. Yes, next, please. Okay, this picture in a terrace. Yeah, we have a terrace there. Okay, terrace. And we conducted this test in Rio de Janeiro in 2009 uh, by two friends with two friends of mine. And after rubbing our hands, we found out that it's possible to generate a high frequency enough to attract the orbs. We can talk about this topic after our conference. With that in mind, I asked this guy to imagine a circle of light on his head. And he did it, and as a result, we can see in the next picture um, something very interesting, because it appeared exactly in the center of his forehead. Okay. And yeah, do have the slide. If you can calculate height, width, depth, this one, please. Okay. Then okay. So this fact made us curious, and we started to calculate the probability of having this circle of light appearing at this spot. And the probability that it did not respond to his mental command was 1 in 196,000. So if you calculate height, width, depth, and the distance from the camera, in this case, this circle of light could be in 196,000 different places. However, it is exactly where this guy, this friend of mine, imagined. Is that a coincidence? Because if you see there in this picture, two pictures before this one, if you calculate, can you put the two pictures? The first picture we took, yeah, because these circles of light could be here, yeah, could be in different places, on the floor, the roof, but it was exactly where this guy imagined. Okay, yeah, next one, please. So here we have two possibilities. The first is that he was able to attract dust or water drop particle when he thought, and that for itself guarantee, for example, a Nobel Prize, because we can prove that our mind can attract everything and can interact with the atoms, particles of atoms of the dust, and we can attract this dust off um, uh, to our foreheads. So this is the first possibility. It's incredible, no? But the second one, and most exciting, sorry, it really a being from another realm or another dimensional who has responded to his mental order. Okay, so here we have the another image, another picture, and again we can see small circles of light around him, but this time only this one between the gentleman's hand stands out. Can you see it? You can see, yeah, because we can see circles of light uh, around him, but and we have another question. What does only that orb stands out? Okay, next one, please. So we have the question on the next slide, right? Now a guy in the river. When they see, we can see the rocks, plants, right? Okay. Um, this is a friend of mine. He's a military, a marine in Brazil, and we took this picture. It's incredible because we took this picture, and I said, "Okay, you need to you will imagine these circles of light between your hands." And this is the result of this this test. Okay, So the following images, the following pictures were taken. Yes, next one. Okay, we're taking a student gathering in the field organized by the Transmutation School. It's my school now. Um, that girl is Salome. Salome, one of our students, is a very sensitive person who can sense the auras before taking the pictures. And here we can have, for example, an orb in the section, the next picture as well. We can see Salome, the third picture. Yeah, yes. The 28th picture, because I have here another person who is a student of my school, Antonia, and she felt a presence when she was walking in the woods, and she asked to her husband to take a picture of her, and then it appeared that orb. The next one, the next slide, the next picture as well, because we see here another person, a lady, yes, and the next one, the gentleman. This is Mark. It's my partner in my school. Um, I knew him when he started to take a lot of pictures, and he searched for orbs in internet on the internet, and then he find me. If Okay, the next one we have a gentleman and a terrace as well. Yes, and now we have Dr. Klaus Heinemann. Can you see the 33? Yeah, we have it. Okay, so now we see Klaus Heinemann, PhD. Today he's a friend of mine as well because he likes Brazil, especially Brasilia, because he has a house near here in Abadiânia. When we saw, when you can find, for example, a Juan de Deus, or John of God, it's which who's very famous medium in the world. And Klaus Heinemann wrote a book. Just a second, because I have to see this picture. Okay. And Klaus Heinemann and Mitchell Ledwith, this gentleman on the next picture. So together they wrote the Orb project. For me, it's like a definitive source on this topic about the orbs, because during their investigation they analyzed more than 100,000 pictures, and they came to the same conclusions as we did, that the orbs are intelligence beings that interact with us through mental and verbal commands. They are what I usually call light information units, like you Leos, no? And in the next picture, we can see that the Dr. Klaus Heinemann. And you have a surprise, because I think next year we are going to do a conference, a congress about the orbs and another phenomenon as well. And he wrote with her wife, his wife, sorry, an orb, another book calls Orbs, Their Mission and Message of Hope. Okay. Now you see here a famous book, the Holographic Universe, written by Michael Talbot. This is very interesting because in his book he reported the most classic case, which I'm going to tell you now. And according to him, his father had a party, and one of his guests was a hypnotist. And so during the party, he decided to cause a hypnotic state, and perform a couple of tricks on the guests. And one of them, Tom, took part of it. And the idea was to implement a belief in his mind, by telling Tom that when he woke up, he would not see his daughter, for example. Then he placed the girl right in front of Tom so that his face was in front of her belly there. And afterwards, he woke Tom up and asked if he could see his daughter in the room. And he looking around and said no. However, the girl was standing in front of Tom the whole time. No? So he was looking at her belly, and he could not see her. And then the hypnotist stood behind the girl and put his hand behind her back and asked Tom, "What do you see in my hand?" "I'm holding something. What is it?" So Tom was very confused because it was so obvious, no? Then he replied, "You're holding a clock, and there is an inscription on it. Can you read it?" he said. So Tom leaned forward and read the description. No? Very interesting. So our reality is an illusion. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Can you understand the last explanation? Okay. So our reality is an illusion, and probably you see this conference, you watching this conference, um, know that this topic has been explored for more than 30, 20 years by well-known scientists worldwide, um, like Michael Talbot, because the next picture we can see here, the next one, please. Because yeah, right now, the waves and frequencies of different radio stations, internet waves, and television channels are passing through our bodies, but we cannot see them. And in the next picture we can see that the 40, sorry, can you go to the 55, the 55, then we 55, 55. Okay. Because within our electromagnetic spectrum, which represents everything we can see, our sense are limited by to a tiny percentage. If you can see the next picture, we can see that according to scientists, of all that exists in the universe, between dark matter and other elements, we can only see 0.00005% of this reality. And yet that percentage, it's distorted by our beliefs, which are totally limited as well. So this is very interesting. And an example of that, it's can you come back to the 43? Okay, now we can see the lines, no? So I have here some images that express how the eyes can deceive us, and we'll figure out incredible things. Okay, you can see the 43, 44, 45, 6, and 47. It's an illusion. 48, 49. So we have here the 53. Can you see something different on this picture, Mina? Ah, okay. It's different, no? And as you can see in the next one, what do you see on this picture? Optical or illusion, good and evil. Okay, now we have the picture 57. When I still have had hair. Can you see it? Okay. So yeah, next one. When you see the bracelet. Okay, thank you. In my opinion, one of the most impressive findings happened during therapy sessions with my students in Spain. In the sessions, I usually draw the main features that appear inside the orbs, since many of them have symbols. Okay, um, and so I was talking in Spanish. Sorry. Uh, since many of them are symbols, two cases have caught my attention, because here we can see two artifacts. The first one, can you put the second picture when you have yes. In this case, let's call it Christina's case. I have no picture about orbs there, because I saw these orbs with my 30 eye. But there, here we can see a symbol inside her orb. No, and after giving her the drawing, I also gave her a name that I heard like a voice in my head, and um, you can see here. No, no, you can see here a name that I learned later that was Itakad, which corresponds an Arabic word, Ita. So I saw the orb, I drew the symbol. I gave the symbol to her, and I also gave her a name. So I will explain better in the next picture. This slide of we have the picture of bracelet. Yes, before the one. Now you see here in this picture letters C and F, because I gave her a name, Zifa, and it was very interesting, because she's here wearing a bracelet, and she also received a drawing. Um, and several months later, uh, Paki, the first case, met a friend from Algeria, and when she saw his bracelet, she asked, "Why do you have Arabic letters in the middle?" So Paki was surprised, because and replied, "It's a symbol I was given in therapy, and Gibraan drew it to me, and also gave me a name that is Zifa." And her friend was amazed and said, "It's just that this symbol closely resemble the letters Z and F in Arabic." and they are pronounced Zifa. And when later I learned about it all, I was surprised because despite having a Lebanese background, I only learned to say Salam Alaikum in Arabic language. So also, Packett investigated the origins of her name, and according to her, it came from an ancient Babylonian character whose description and personality traits are very similar to hers. It's very interesting, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. So another question, would the orbs have the ability to communicate information about our past lives, or it would be some message about ancient civilizations that we still do not know how to decode? It's very interesting, no? The next picture, so we have to go fast, no, because don't have time. Don't have the 62. Okay. Here we have our picture. We have a machine. It's a very known machine, our picture. And when I took this picture from a friend of mine, a psychologist, a doctor, and we can see here these circles of light. And I asked the company about these circles of light, just in case, just for curiosity, and they couldn't respond me exactly what it was. It's very interesting, no? So the orbs, we can see here many gathering students in the field, works in the field, promoted by our school, the Transmutation School, and we can see a lot of pictures there. So during these years of researcher, and mainly after beginning to spread knowledge about orbs at Transmutation School, we have had dozens of experiences like that. And as a result of that experience, I began to call them LEO, Light Information Units, because I'm certain that they can transmit information through their symbols, even though we are still investigating many of them. Okay. So to conclusion, everything we can see a lot of pictures about orbs here, no? The seventh four, if you, where are we? Okay. Because all this sorry, I can see my picture. Okay, here. So all this evidence suggests us that the orbs are intelligence beings that are here and right now. They are not in somewhere, but here and now, you know. And we notice that we can interact with them using a simple piece of technology, which is the digital cameras, for example, and that they are more physical than we think. And the difference is that they are in a distant realm where untrained eyes cannot see. And we also notice that the only thing that separate us from them, sorry for the table, it's our state of consciousness. This is very important. So what does being able to communicate with them means? It means that we are evolving as we accelerate and expand the frequencies in which our brain operates. And of course, the orbs operate in a higher frequencies. That also means we are in harmony with planetary transition, because everything is accelerating as well. The scientists are showing us this fact. Okay, so the ability to interact with the orbs show us that we can go beyond this existence, that our mind creates and attracts what you wish and what we do not wish. And what we call telepathy, for example, can be something not as distant as we think. So the orbs help us to better understand these the limits of the universe, its potencialidades, como se dice, potentialities. Okay, thank you, and mysteries of the universe, and they can help us to better understand our mind and all its potential. And I think that perhaps they help us to better understand this limit. They also help us to understand that life should not be limited to just working, going back home, and in the end leaving something for the children, for example. But it's about leaving a legacy for humanity. So, through the awakening of our consciousness toward. Sorry, ready to? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Well, but I know that they are just assumptions. But if I can say one thing for sure, is that the orbs gave me the assurance that the greatest contact we can have is not with them, not even with an extraterrestrial being or with some supernatural entity, but with us themselves. And that's it.
Thank you, Gibraan, for this amazing information that you shared with the Mindalia TV community today. We also want to thank you that are watching us for liking, subscribing not only this channel but our Spanish channel Mindalia Televisión and our Portuguese channel Mindalia Televisao. We are broadcasting information as interesting as the one that you are already used to see in Mindalia TV. We are sending you a very big hug, and until next time. Bye bye.